Cyber Threat Brief for February 13, 2026. Here is today's Security Intelligence Summary. Next section, Critical Alerts. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, adds 4 vulnerabilities to KEV, Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog, including Actively Exploited Microsoft SCCM Flaw, CVE. 2024-43468. CISA added 4 vulnerabilities to its Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog based on confirmed active exploitation, CVE. 2024-43468. Microsoft Configuration Manager SQL Injection, CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, 9.8. Notepad++ Code Integrity Bypass, SolarWinds Web Help Desk Security Control Bypass, and Apple Buffer Overflow, is the most urgent for Windows/Active Directory shops. It allows unauthenticated remote code execution against SCCM/config MGR servers and has an EPS, the Exploit Prediction Scoring System, score of 0. 86, 99th percentile. Microsoft patched this in October 2024, but exploitation is now confirmed in the wild, and 4 additional CVEs. See show notes for the full list. Action: verify your config MGR environment is patched to the October 2024 update immediately. Federal agencies have a March 5 deadline. Also patch SolarWinds Web Help Desk, KEV due Feb 15, EPS 0.28/96th percentile, and update Notepad++ installations. Sources: CISA KEV The Register Bleeping Computer The Hacker News. Beyond Trust Remote Support/PRA Remote Code Execution Being Exploited in the Wild CVE. 2026-1731, CVSS 9.9. A critical pre-authentication RCE vulnerability in Beyond Trust Remote Support, versions 25.3.1 and earlier, and Privileged Remote Access, versions 24.3.4 and earlier, is now being actively exploited. Watchtower observed in-the-wild exploitation across global sensors within 24 hours of proof of concept publication. Attackers abuse the Get Portal Info endpoint to extract the XNS company value, then establish a WebSocket channel for code execution. EPS is 0. 04, 89th percentile. Action: patch Beyond Trust RS and PRA immediately. If you use Beyond Trust for remote support, check for indicators of compromise in your WebSocket logs and review access to the Get Portal Info endpoint. Sources: The Hacker News Bleeping Computer Security Week. Apple 0-Day Actively Exploited, CVE. 2026-20700. Apple disclosed its first actively exploited 0-day of 2026, a memory corruption vulnerability in iOS. The flaw was used in an extremely sophisticated attack against specific targeted individuals on devices running iOS versions before iOS 26. CISA added it to KEV with a March 5 remediation deadline. Action: ensure all managed Apple devices are updated to the latest iOS/iPadOS. This is a targeted attack, but the patch is available and should be deployed across all endpoints. Source: Cyberscoop. Next section, Vulnerability Disclosures. Siemens issues multiple ICS, Industrial Control Systems, advisories. Siemens released advisories for SINIC NMS, CVE. 2026-25655, Local Privilege Escalation via DLL. Dynamic Link Library, Loading, NX/22924/22925, File Parsing Buffer Overflows Leading to Code Execution, Solid Edge, Out of Bounds Read in IGS Parser, Cyvalence Video, Webhooks API, Privilege Escalation, and Polariant. Stored Cross-Site Scripting, CVSS 7.6. Most affect critical infrastructure sectors worldwide, and 5 additional CVEs. See show notes for the full list. Action: review Siemens advisories if you run any of these products. Update SINIC NMS to v4, 0 SB2, NX to v2512+, and Solid Edge to v226, 00 Update 03. Sources: Cynic NMS NX Solid Edge Sivalence Polarian. Airleader Master RCE via Unrestricted File Upload, C. V.E. 2026-1358, CVSS 9.8, Airleader Master versions 6. 381, and prior have an unrestricted file upload vulnerability that allows unauthenticated remote code execution. Affects critical infrastructure sectors including energy, healthcare, and water/wastewater. Action: check if Airleader Master is deployed in your environment and update past version 6. 381. Source: CISA Ike's Advisory. Hitachi Energy Super OS Default Credentials, C. VE. 2025-7740, Default Credentials Vulnerability in Hitachi Energy Super OS versions 9.2.1 and below. Affects energy, transportation, and government sectors. Action: remove default accounts and change root passwords per Super OS Secure Deployment Guidelines, Chapter 4. 3. Source: CISA Ike's Advisory. Windows LNK Shortcut Spoofing Techniques. Disclosed security researcher Wyatsi Bukema disclosed 4 new LNK shortcut manipulation techniques at Wild West Hackin' Fest that allow attackers to hide malicious targets from users inspecting file properties. The techniques exploit inconsistencies in how Windows Explorer handles conflicting target paths in LNK binary structures. Microsoft classified these as not vulnerabilities and assigned CV. E. 2025-9491 with no immediate fix planned. Action: reinforce user training about LNK files from untrusted sources. Consider blocking LNK files in email gateways if not already. Source: Bleeping Computer. Next section: Ransomware and Extortion. Ransomware operators abusing employee monitoring software. Bossware. Huntress observed 2 intrusions in late January and early February, where threat actors chain net monitor for employees professional with simple help, RMM, remote monitoring and management, to blend into corporate networks and attempt ransomware deployment. The attackers were ultimately unsuccessful, but the tactic of using legitimate employee monitoring tools to evade detection is a significant evolution. This is directly relevant to MSPs and SMBs that deploy monitoring or RMM software. Action: audit your RMM and employee monitoring tool deployments. Ensure Simple Help and NetMonitor are patched to latest versions, restrict admin access, and monitor for unauthorized installations. Source: The Register. Killin ransomware hits Romania's oil pipeline operator. Can pet the Killin ransomware gang stole data from Romania's national oil pipeline operator, Canpet S. A. The attackers breached corporate IT infrastructure and claimed to have exfiltrated nearly 1 TB of documents. Operations remained unaffected. The investigation with Romania's DNSC is ongoing. Action: Killin continues to target critical infrastructure. Ensure your backup and segmentation strategies account for data exfiltration scenarios. Source: Bleeping Computer. Next section: Business and Infrastructure Threats. 30+ malicious Chrome extensions disguised as AI chatbots steal API keys and emails. Over 30 malicious Chrome extensions installed by at least 260,000 users impersonate AI assistants. Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, while stealing API keys, email messages, and personal data. All 32 extensions share the same codebase and communicate with infrastructure at Tapnetic.pro. Many remain on the Chrome Web Store. A separate extension, CL Suite, specifically targets Meta Business Suite and Facebook Business Manager, exfiltrating top codes and contact lists. Action: audit Chrome extensions across managed endpoints. Block Tapnetic.pro. Enforce extension allow lists via Chrome Enterprise policies. Sources: The Register, The Hacker News. North Korean Lazarus Group runs fake recruiter campaign via NPM/PyPI. Graphalgo. North Korean threat actors are targeting JavaScript and Python developers with fake job recruitment campaigns. They create fraudulent blockchain/crypto companies, post job listings on LinkedIn and Reddit, then deliver coding challenges, containing malicious NPM and PyPI packages. Researchers found 192 malicious packages that deploy a remote access Trojan. The campaign has been active since at least May 2025. Action: warn development teams about unsolicited coding challenges. Audit NPM and PyPI dependencies. Use lock files and dependency scanning. Sources: Bleeping Computer, The Hacker News. Claude AI artifacts abused in click-fix campaigns targeting Mac OS threat actors are abusing publicly shared Claude artifacts and Google Ads to deliver infostealer malware to Mac OS users via click-fix social engineering. Over 10,000 users have accessed the malicious content. The artifacts contain instructions that trick users into running terminal commands. Action: train users on click-fix social engineering tactics. Monitor for unusual terminal command execution on Mac OS endpoints. Source: Bleeping Computer. Dutch telecom Odido breached. 2 million customers exposed. The Netherlands' largest mobile operator Odido confirmed attackers breached its customer contact system, exposing names, addresses, phone numbers, dates of birth, bank account numbers, and ID document details for 2 million customers. Passwords and call data were not affected. The breach was detected February 7-8. Action: reinforces the importance of access controls on customer-facing CRM/contact systems, particularly IP allow listing and bulk download restrictions. Sources: The Register, Bleeping Computer. QR code, phishing evolving with deep links, and direct APK downloads. Unit 42 documented QR code abuse using URL shorteners to disguise destinations. In-app deep links to steal credentials, and direct APK downloads to bypass App Store security. QR codes exploit the weaker controls of personal mobile devices to bypass organizational security. Action: include QR code risks in security awareness training. Consider mobile threat defense solutions for BYOD environments. Source: Unit 42. Next section: Windows/AD security. Microsoft SCCM/config MGR SQL injection now actively exploited. CV E 2024-43468, covered in critical alerts above. This is the top priority for Windows/AD environments today. The CVSS 9.8 SQL injection allows unauthenticated RCE against config MGR servers. Patched October 2024, now confirmed exploited. EPS 0.86, 99th percentile. Copilot Studio Agent Security. Top 10 risks. Microsoft published guidance on the 10 most common security risks in Copilot Studio Agent deployments. Overbroad sharing, unauthenticated access, weak orchestration controls, and misconfigured AI workflows. Maps each risk to detections and mitigations using Microsoft Defender. Action: if your organization uses Copilot Studio, review Microsoft's guidance and audit agent configurations for oversharing and authentication gaps. Source: Microsoft Security Blog. Microsoft fixes family safety bug blocking Chrome. Microsoft resolved a known issue where family safety parental controls blocked Google Chrome and other browsers from launching on Windows 10 22H2 and Windows 11 22H2+. The bug persisted for 8 months since June 2025. Fix is rolling out automatically. Source: Bleeping Computer. Next section: General Security News. State-backed actors using Gemini AI for reconnaissance. Google reported North Korean group UNC 2970, and actors from China, Iran, and Russia are using Gemini AI to profile targets, synthesize OSINT, and support campaign planning against the defense industrial base. The targeting includes cybersecurity and defense companies, mapping technical roles and salary information for social engineering. Sources: The Hacker News, UNC 2970, The Hacker News, DIB. NPM Authentication Overhaul. Postja 1 NPM completed a major authentication overhaul in December 2025 to reduce supply chain attacks, replacing long-lived classic tokens. While a solid step forward, NPM remains susceptible to malware packages. Organizations should still use dependency scanning and lock files. Source: The Hacker News. LVMH brands fine $25M for SAW security failures. South Korea fine Louis Vuitton $16. 4M, Dior $9. 4M and Tiffany $1. 85M for failing to secure cloud-based customer management platforms. Shiny hunters exploited missing IP restrictions and authentication controls to breach SAW tools and expose 5 million customer records. SAW adoption does not transfer security responsibility to the vendor. Source: Bleeping Computer. Gartner warns misconfigured AI in cyber-physical systems could cause G20-level outages by 2028. Gartner predicts that misconfigured AI embedded in national infrastructure could shut down critical services in a major economy as soon as 2028. The warning focuses on rapid AI adoption in cyber-physical systems without adequate testing and validation. Source: The register that concludes today's cyber threat brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.